Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another market close. We got a green day. We got another green day. What can I say? What can I say? Today, oh, I would say financials. Financials seem to be one of the driving forces, certainly helping to push us into the green. A little bit of a retracement on materials. Some materials are down. Crypto, of course, being down. And, well, if you're in the energy sector, we got some good news there. Maybe not so much today with the price of oil, but over in China, Carney and his crew are over there, and they're taking a look at a few things. They're taking a look at a few things and seeing if they can strike some deals. And they did get an agreement. Um, Basically, kind of like that similar type of agreement that Carney got with Danielle Smith. Sort of that agreement, agreeing to look into or to discuss it further type thing. So what China is looking at is they're actually looking at Canadian energy. So they're pretty interested. So one of the things they said is they want more Canadian oil, more Canadian natural gas, and more Canadian clean energy. And they also said that they're looking for trade partners who are reliable and who don't use oil as as a cohesion tactic, or a coercion tactic. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. Maybe we got a new customer. So, you know, you either sell to the States or you sell to China, I guess. I'm okay with it because, right now the US is not being exactly a good trading partner. So it could be an interesting thing, Today also is the release of INTI. So that's that new international fund for Evolve. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see if we got any more information. I'm kind of curious to see what they're holding. We'll look at all of that today as we move along. But before we get to any of that, let's head to the content. Let's actually head to the markets here. There we go. Bang, boom. This what am I looking at? Oh, that's Tesla. That's Tesla. Let's not worry about Tesla. Let's move up to the TSX. So the TSX, once again, in the green, up 0.23%. We do in the last candle has been red. So we're seeing a little bit of retracement at the end of the day. But once again, we are now at the halfway point of the month. So 15 days. Well, technically another half day and we're there because it's a 31-day month. But looking strong on Canada. And when we're gonna look a little bit later, and we're gonna look at the heat map. We're gonna see financials. Financials definitely leading the way today. Also, Bombardier having a pretty good day too. So you gotta like that. Looking south of the Bodie. Looking south of the Bodie. There we go. What is the Bodie? But looking south of the border, we do have, well, we have a green day. It started off really strong, but the last few candles, as you guys can see. So basically, each of these candles represents an hour. So pretty much your last 3 hours have been bit more of a dog's breakfast, folks. So yeah, that there is your Nasdaq. It's still in the green though for the month. Sorry, is the S&P 500. The Nasdaq, as we saw yesterday, they actually moved into the red on the month, so they were below the blue line. And are they still below? Ooh, they made it back up, but they're pretty fast. They're quickly coming right back down. So we'll see whether or not they hit that blue line. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The fun of it. All right. The Dow Jones also having a good day. They're up 0.58 and not bad. Actually, their last hour is a green candle, so a little bit of strength in industrials. And the little guys, holy banana bread, they're holding in. They're up 1.26% on the day, the Russell. So that's not too shabby. All right, now looking at gold. Gold's kind of in this pattern. You'll notice one of the interesting things with this here is, well, look, let's just actually do something here for a second. I'm going to grab us a little stick here. We'll call it a stick. Actually, you know what? Let's come from here. Let's come like that. We're going to grab another one of those sticks. We'll grab one. Let's go like this here. There we go. Let's put this in here. I'm just kind of curious. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. So gold. Now, gold being a commodity, not as easy to use TA on, but looking at this shape, gold does look to be coming to a head. So we're looking at either another big breakout, something like this, or maybe we'll get a breakdown. But I'm still bullish on gold overall. So we'll see where gold is going. But that's kind of interesting. I'll leave that there. Let's see. Let's see what happens. If we have a show tomorrow, we'll revisit it and we'll see if gold broke out. Silver also down 1.22%, copper down 1.11%, and here's oil. Like I said, oil not doing the best, down 3.19% today. And both Bitcoin and Ethereum, both in the dumpers as well, they're both down. Bitcoin about 1.63, Ethereum about 1.85. All right. Let's head to our heat map here for Canada. And you can see right away the banks all up in positive territory. Royal Bank's up 0.16, TD's up 0.22, BMO 0.86, half a percentage up there for Scotiabank. So yeah, banks looking pretty strong. Banks looking strong today. It's not like a runaway, but they are doing okay. Obviously, oil down today. Our oil is like, look at this. Canadian Natural Resources down 1.64. Imperial down. Cenovus down. Suncor down. Some of our more pipeline oriented are doing a little bit better. So Enbridge is actually up. Pembina up as well. Retail down today. Alimentation Couche-Tard. They're down 1.23%. Now the railroads are doing good though. CNR are up a good 1.42%, so I'm liking that. Let's take a gander at the United States, and you can sort of see a little bit of weakness in tech. Well, not all tech. NVIDIA having a really good day. They're up 2.23, but Apple down, Google down, Microsoft down, Tesla down a wee bit. So yeah, what can I say? What can I say? Broadcom actually made a bit of a recovery. So I do like that. So Broadcom doing a little bit better today as well. And we'll head over to crypto. Oh boy. A lot of red here with Bitcoin down, Ethereum down, XRP, Solana, Dogecoin 5.53% down. Yikes. All right. There's about 15,000 of these altcoins out there. Oh boy, a lot. And they're being created faster than you can throw a stick at them. But I got a tradition here. I like to grab one that's doing the opposite of what the market's doing. So we got a red day. Let's grab this green one here. What do we have? Let's pull it up and take a look. Soul Rise Finance. Okay. I don't know what this is. I'm wondering if it has, I wonder if there's any connection to Solana in any way, but it's hard to say. This is, well, it's worth 0.028 of a penny. I'm always worried when I see finance or a common name in there that it's sucking people in for some reason. But guys, if you're interested in Soul Rise Finance, I hope you're not. But if you are, be sure to read the paper. Do some research. Find out what they're all about before you get involved. Boy, there's a lot of them out here. They will rug pull you, all of that fun stuff. Some of them you can almost tell from the name. If you guys remember when we had Loser Coin, that was definitely one that you knew you were going to lose your money on. You knew it. So you can make money with these little guys, but you're probably not gonna. I call them crap coins because they're just like going to the casino playing a game of craps. The house always wins. If you want to make money in your in your crypto, stick to your big coins. Stick to like your, whoops, let's pull them all up. Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin is a better option for sure. All right, let's hit the chat. Mario is in first with a good afternoon, everyone. And I sold all my HGR and RMAX. Interesting. So basically, yeah, Mario has gotten out of the real estate game, and not a bad move. I have faith in maybe one fund right now, at least on the income side. That's RMAX. I still like RMAX, but yeah, HGR. Um, yeah. Real estate has been kind of it's been a sore spot for a while, but nothing wrong with that. And let's see, put the funds into Inti. Okay, and of course Inti guys. You know what? Let's see if we can find it right now. Actually, we're going to go to Google because I want to find the Inti page. All right, evolve. Here we go. Let's see if we can. Oh, it helps if I actually spell evolve right. There we go. Inti evolve. Oh, I got the emoticon window for some reason. All right, here we go. Let's take a look, guys. I have not had a chance yet to look under the hood of Inti. So here we are. Look at this. Well, here we go. Look right here. Right here, we're seeing some of their top companies. So let's see, Spotify, Shell. That's answering some questions right away. You guys were asking, will they be holding any American companies as well? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So I'm not sure. I believe Spotify is based in the U.S. and I'm sure Shell is. But then we've got Alibaba. So there we got China. We got Sony and Toyota. So we got some Japan in there. TSMC. So there we go. That is our Taiwan. So interesting. Let's come in here a little bit. Take a look here. So they dropped at 25. Where are they right now? I'm going to pull up another window. Let's just take a gander. I may have to refresh this page. Here we go. Let's bring it back. I want to see where they are right now. They launched at 25. Perhaps Mario pushed them up a bit. Let's see. Ooh, so they had that big. This one's doing what I've always talked about, guys. How, initially it'll explode. So they did launch at 25. They went right up to a high of 25.51. And look at this. They're retracing back down. So 25.09 at the moment. So interesting. All right. Fair enough. So, okay, they've only got 10 holdings. And currently, fund total net assets, 2.5 million. That'll grow, guys. That's kind of the way these things go. And we already know about this. So 33% leverage. Now, I wonder, let me click on this and see if we get more information here. We know, okay, their distribution, 26 cents a month. So twice a month, sorry. Twice a month, 26 cents. So that, somebody do the math, but that is, that's a pretty high yield. That is a pretty high yield. So that's okay. That's interesting. All right, let's take a gander here and see what we got. This is what I like. Look at this. So we've got 20% is British, 19.98 Japan, Sweden's coming in at 10. Where are you, niece? Where are you? Netherlands at 10, Taiwan at 10, Denmark at 9.99, Switzerland 9.98, China 9.92. Well, this is interesting. A couple of those companies I thought were US. Like I thought Spotify was an American company. I could be completely wrong. I could be very, very wrong. Huh. Very cool. Oh, yeah, look here. Oh boy, now we find out. So Spotify is a Swedish company. I did not know that. That's great. And Shell, this is the one that threw me off. I could have sworn Shell was a US company, but apparently Britain. AstraZeneca is Britain. Taiwan, we know that's Taiwan. We know that, Sony is Japan, and Toyota, of course. ASML Holdings, Netherlands. Novo Nordisk from Denmark. Novaratus there, Switzerland. I probably really messed that up. And we got China here with Alibaba, of course. All right, very interesting. So here we go. We had a chance to see a little bit behind. Oh, and this is kind of nice too. It's not overweight in technology. If you take a look here, actually their biggest weighting is consumer non-cyclical, then at almost 30%. We got 20% for tech, consumer cyclical at 1998, communications 1998, and energy 10%. All right. This is an interesting batch of companies. Very, very cool. All right, there we go. I did double alarm my watch today, guys. So I'll get that 1 minute warning, and then I'll get a 4 o'clock. So there's no way I can be late anymore with the bell. Well, maybe if I forget to charge my watch was dead or something. But I think we got the bell covered now. Financial Express. So, guys, yes, the Financial Express is still moving. If we want to add a station for tomorrow, you guys know the drill. Either any combination of four, whether it be supers, gifted, subs, all of that fun stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Scott's in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. And we have Sita. I can pull this up. We don't have to keep looking at Inti. With a good afternoon. Zenial. Is there any hope for Microsoft? It's back to May 2025 levels. Microsoft is a really good company. They've also got deep pockets. I'm not worried at all. So yeah, I mean, they may be down a little bit now, but Microsoft is huge. Microsoft is huge, and I've got a lot of faith in them. So there's a lot of hope for Microsoft. And we have Mary in the house, guys. Mary is our captain of the like button. Our captain, our commander of the like, whatever we want to call it. You got to hit that button. It certainly helps the algorithm push out the channel. I appreciate it. The channel appreciates it. Mary appreciates it. And when I get to announce Mary, it means I get to have a drink of coffee, and I appreciate that a lot too. And Scott's been speculating about the secret goat. So Scott thinks it's all about likes. And it might be. Scott's very good at piecing together information, even without a clue. So if you're trying to unlock that other secret goat, you might want to look at likes. I don't know. I'll just say it's I know what it is. I will give you guys a hint on on Sunday. I'll confirm if Scott is right, but I will not say he's wrong because, I'll just say Scott's very good at guessing, guys. Take that for what it means. Rob says commodities in the dumps today. Boo. I know. Well, you know what? After the great day they had yesterday, it's just a little retracing. It's normal. It's normal, Rob. I never worry about it too much. I don't fret. And Wahipple is in the house with a hey, I'm in today. Good to see you, Wahipple. Good to see that you made it. Sky is here with good afternoon. Brian says good afternoon, everyone. And let's see, 27 centimeters of snow here today. Roads are a mess still. I stayed home today, minus 13 degrees Celsius as well. It's about the same here, Brian. Quite literally, it is snowing right now. We're getting about a centimeter an hour. I don't know how many centimeters we got, but I don't think we got 27, but I think we're probably pushing 20. We're probably pushing 20. Jonathan is in the house. ASML is still inching up. Oh, nice, nice. Brian says, I sold all my ULTY, MSTY blocks and BTCI, bought QQQI and CPCC while it was down. Nice. Yeah, there we go. That's one of the nice things, right, about a down day. Sometimes it does allow you to make some moves. And you got to like that. You got to like that. Even though overall the market is still in the green. And I think we're high enough up that we're not going to trickle back in by the bell. Claude says, you didn't see my comment. I was first. I was wondering about London Gold, if it will finally pierce its top. I did not see your comment, Claude. That's really odd. That's really odd. I don't know what happened to your comment. Yeah, it just wasn't there. Oh boy, that's weird. But London Gold. Let's take a gander. Let's head on over to one of my favorites, LUG. Here we go. LUG, London Gold. Right now, they're sitting at 119.88. Oh, why did I click on key data? I did not want to click on key data. I just did. All right. I actually want to just pull out our, yeah, I mean, oh boy, look at this. But yeah, I mean, right now, as far as I know, and I'm going to go further back. I don't think they've ever had like a giant, yeah. There we go. That there is just amazing. That's the 5 years, guy. That's the 5 years. Here's the 10 years. Even on the 10 years, look at this. Look how small the pandemic appears on the 10-year now. I like that. I like that it's starting to look like a small little afterthought. But all right, let's come back to the 1 year here. So right now, you want to pierce the top. Well, right now, what is their top? Looks like their high is 124.13. So yeah, I'd like to see them hit 125. I'd like to see them hit one, and they will. They will. Just give them time. Like this is a stock that will continue to move up as gold does. So I'm pretty confident in London Gold for sure. All right, Marina is in the house. Hey all, we have a gorgeous day in Victoria Day, 10 degrees Celsius and sunshine. Nice. I don't even know what the temperature is here right now. Quite literally. Well, here, look. I'll show you what the temperature is. I'll show you. Just bang, boom. Here we go. Here's Ottawa. Right now, oh boy, it's minus 15 with a wind chill of minus 26. But it does look like the snow is starting to taper off a little bit. So less than a centimeter an hour going forward. So I think most of it's falling. But there'll be a little bit of snow coming tonight. And yeah, here's a radar if you're interested in that. So yeah, we've got about another right here, 1 to 3 centimeters tonight. And it's going to be a cold one overnight with a minus 28 wind chill. So, I would rather be in Victoria today, Marina. you win. You win the weather game. Wahipple says, I was going to see off my Biggie for Inti today, but the X date for Biggie, so holding it for today. Yeah, I mean, and guys, I like what Inti does. I think it's a good ETF. But just because you get a new ETF, because keep in mind, we are going to see more and more of these new ETFs popping up. So you don't need to always jump ship every time a new one comes up. You know, I'm like, I have not bought any Inti yet. I do want some. I want some. I want some in the 0 to 100K challenge as well. So I'll probably watch over the next couple of days, see what it does. I might throw a few in, but you know, for the most part, I want to see what this does. I like the semi-monthly. You know, definitely a lot of dividends. So, you know, hopefully we've got these stocks have the volatility. Now, the one thing is that, oh, excuse me, some of the foreign, well, I guess it depends. I have to take a look. I have to look a little bit later and see if they are actually investing out of the markets in like Japan or Britain, or if they're just using their S&P versions. So that's kind of an interesting. I think that's an interesting thing to know for sure. Morley says I started INT today also. Okay, hopefully you got in at the lower rate because they did have that spike at the beginning of the day. Scott says a snow day for Brian. Bart's says, what do you think of Biggie? 31-cent div paid twice per month is pretty good. It is. Biggie pays well. Now, let's actually, oh, guys, we got about 6 minutes to the bell here. But let's take a gander at Biggie here for a moment. Biggie, here we go. And, well, they're down a little bit today. They're down a little bit today, but I'll just compare to the, oh, I got it. Oh, they're longer than 3 months. So they have, like, they launched, and they didn't launch at the best time. And that's kind of one of the arguments I make for Biggie. So we have seen movement to the downside on Biggie. All right, that's fine. Considering when they launched, considering the volatility we've seen in the market, that's fine. Now, another part of this too is when you do look at that dividend. Um, Now, this here is calling it a 10% yield. I don't know if I trust that number. Because when I come in here, sometimes I will look, especially with newer funds, and I will sometimes just recalculate that dividend because sometimes I find TMX, I love the site, but it can sometimes botcher up those yields a little bit. Because what I think is I wonder, in this case here, because it's a twice a month dividend, I wonder if it's making its calculations on twice a month or if it thinks that 31 cents is monthly. So it might be a little confused. So I think that I think it's a higher dividend than that. I'm pretty sure it's higher. One of you can probably confirm it for Biggie. I'm sure you guys know off the top of your head. But with aggressive dividends, they're not leaving a lot of upside on the table. And if I remember correctly, I think, and I could be wrong on this, but Biggie might be one of the ones where they're writing cover calls on a larger portion of the fund. And that would, of course, also help limit upside. So yeah, Biggie is going to be great for income, but I'm not expecting it to be super great for growth. I do, once everything starts moving in a better flow, I want to really take a look and see how Biggie responds. But yeah, if your main goal is income, top notch. Biggie, you're getting a lot of income. But I do want to see how they perform, especially when, and you know me, I love both income and growth. I want to see some growth. So right now, this one's not fulfilling what I want to see. Now, I want to see it moving at least flat. At the very bare minimum, I want to see it moving flat to going up a little bit. And I'm happy. I just need at least a little bit of growth. All right. And we got Brian here. Let's see. Yes, for sure, Scott. I imagine you have about the same amount. The plow has not been up my street, and I am at the top of the hill. Being king of the hill has disadvantages sometimes. Ah, yes. Well, my mom no longer, but she used to live out. I don't know if you're familiar, you guys are probably not familiar with Nova Scotia, but um, outside of Halifax, you've got Lower Sackville, which is kind of an area, but then you start to go inland, and if you head up towards Beaverbank, you end up crossing. I call it the tree line. Basically, up where my mom lived, if you got 5 centimeters of snow in Lower Sackville, you would get 10 to 20 out my mom's way. So she used to get just crazy amounts of snow, crazy amounts, and I remember in the spring, you'd be seeing patches of green grass in Lower Sackville, and I'd head out to my mom's, and there'd still be a little bit of snow still on the ground. It's just like it used to be crazy. But she did sell that house, and now she lives in Lower Sackville, so she didn't have to deal with that weather as bad anymore. Brian says, I looked at selling Biggie as well, Wahipple, but I held off since it's still new. That's the big thing about Biggie. It is still new. You are getting, you are, like, no matter where you bought it right now, you probably are still total return wise in the green, but part of that total return has been eaten away because of it going down, of course. All right. Ooh. All right. I just got the 1 minute warning. The 1 minute warning to the bell. So I'll get the bell a little bit closer. There we go. It's coming, guys. It's coming. And the Financial Express, yeah, that is on if you want to add a show for tomorrow. Morley says, yep, I should have listened to you, Candace. Inti went up and then dropped, but I think it's going to be way better than Misty that I have been holding. Probably. Now, with crypto being down today as well, MSTE is also retracing back down. Now, kind of curious. I don't know if it fell back below 5. I don't think so. I don't think Bitcoin fell that far. But let's take a gander. Oh, I said I didn't think it fell below 5. It's at $5.03. So it almost fell below 5. Oh boy. So, oh, it is bell time. Here we go. Market. The market is closed. And I can hit my hit my oh, I think I hit snooze, so it might go again in 9 minutes, but awesome. All right, that worked. Oh, that really, really worked. Muggsy, I think it was Muggsy who said, do the double alarm. Great idea, Muggsy. I don't know if you're here, but thank you. It worked. All right. Brian. Brian says, I might have to get some Inti at some point soon as well. Elaine is in the house, and we got Gursky with a hello, good afternoon. And Tom is like, descend Air Canada for God's sake. Yes. What is Air Canada doing today? I don't actually know. Do I still have Air Canada in this list? I don't think I do. Let me just pull up Air Canada. So I, of course, have a swing trade. This is the public swing trade inside of the 0 to 100K challenge. So every month, when it drops below $19, I buy some. And this month, how far did it get down? It got down pretty close, but it didn't get below 19. I have not bought any yet. So it's back up here at 1977. So the whole idea on this trade is, let me go out here. Let's go out to the 3-year. The 3 year is good enough. Air Canada has this big periods of volatility where, you can get some really low prices. Like, look at this. Down here, it was in the 13s. But for the most part, here's this low level of where they tend to roam at. The low level's down around 18. So this is a nice support area for Air Canada. And then we get these big movements where they post up. Look at this, up at 22. This one here all the way up to 25. So I buy in these low areas here. I just buy and I keep adding. And for me, like I said, anytime it's under $19 in that month, I add more. And then when it does zoom up, I'll sell it at 20. Well, at 21, I'll put in a stop loss. And then we'll just see. I mean, if it keeps riding up from there, I might be able to get some more out of it. But that's just the general idea on that swing. And we're going to see where it goes. So right now, I mean, I'm happy with it not hitting 21. I don't care when it hits 21. I would just like to see it drop a little bit so that I can, at least under 19, so I can add a bit more. That's kind of where I'm at with that one. All right. Wahipple says, yeah, Brain, I think Inti kind of knew as well, but I have been trimming my exposure to the American market for the last few months, so I have been waiting for Inti to move my biggie holdings into it. Yeah, fair enough. And I do look at it this way too. With with Inti, it's international exposure, so we don't have a lot of options for international exposure and income. We got a few, but actually you'll be able to see some of those tomorrow in tomorrow's video. The channel members can already see that video now. Oh, by the way, guys, there is a channel member live stream tonight, and that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. From the questions I've received so far, it looks like a lot of people want to talk swing trading. So it looks like we're going to have quite a bit of swing trade talk in there, like how to find targets. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. So quite literally, this one here, we'll finish this one and we'll head right. I'll have lunch. I'll have supper, and then it'll be get ready for the next one. Scott says Jamie Beck was talking on BNN about London gold. Nice. Yeah. Oh, I love, like I said, and guys, I'm going to point this out. I'm the one who I was telling you guys back last year around this time, I was talking about it's time to start getting into London gold. I was talking about them way back then. And, some of you who did, who jumped on that and did your own due diligence and agreed with me are happy about that. That's for sure. Gursky says, I picked up some Biggie, METE, HDIV, and 160 today. Nice. Sua says, thank you for the gifted subscriptions yesterday. I hold HL I bought about 2 weeks ago. It's an American company that has a mine in the Yukon, silver mine. They will be closing. They will be doing closing bell the 26th of January. Nice. I actually had an opportunity to do the closing bell at at the TSX, but it was one of those situations. Evolve ETFs actually had invited me because they were going to close the bell. I was just like, I'm not going to fly to Toronto just to ring the bell. If I was already in Toronto for whatever reason, then yeah, I definitely would have done it. That would have been fantastic. Rob says the Asian markets took profit. Marina says, I need to reduce my tech sector exposure. I bought Biggie at $25 and it's been falling since then. It's too concentrated and pushed me over my preset tech allocation. Yeah, fair enough. I think a lot of people are probably heavy in tech right now for the simple reason that with all of the AI ramp up, with also, whoops, I just noticed my mic was aiming away from me, so I'm like, oh, that can't be good. Yeah, with all of the AI ramp up, with the huge explosion of NVIDIA, I think there's a lot of people that are very heavy on the tech exposure for sure. And amazingly enough, this is kind of the funny thing. In the 0 to 100K challenge, I'm underexposed in tech. Well, here, let me show you. We'll go over here to Blossom. Oh, we just happen to be on the right page. That's hilarious. Yeah, here I am. My technology, 1.6% right now. And I'm like, how can I be that low? So, but yeah, 1.6%. So I need to buff up tech a little bit. I actually do need to buff tech up. So maybe I'll be the one buying some of the stuff you're selling, Marina. It might be me. Hippo. I hobby G4N mining earnings report. Oh, I hope. I think this me. I think you're saying I hope. I hope 4N mining earnings report comes out after market close. Yeah, 4N. They've been doing fantastic. Here, let's take a look here again. I know we looked at them the other day here. 4N, here we go. 4N Mining Corporation. Now they are down today. They're actually down 4% today. Holy banana bread. But you look at you look at this big ramp up here. So yeah, and that's their earnings is gonna reflect a lot of that ramp up. So they could have a really good day. They could certainly have a really good day. Is it me or is there no sound? It's probably both. It's probably both. Because yeah, as you guys noticed, I had to flip the mic back up because it fell. Gravity stole the sound. Brian says it's you, Marina. Guys. You got a warning from the Mary. 65 watching, 25 likes. Come on. All right, I'm gonna see if you guys listen to Mary. I gotta refresh. I'm gonna refresh my test box over here, and we'll see. 30. So okay, Mary, you scared 5 people straight. I love it. Oh, so good. Scott says swap eBank for INTY. My opinion, no. I would almost say a hard no. And I'll tell you why. I love Inti. I think Inti has a lot of potential. But eBank is a proven entity. eBank is absolutely, like, look at this. Let's go over here. EBNK. Boom. Whoops. Let's try this again. EBNK. There we go. So look at this, and we'll pull up the 1 year. This has been a proven entity. I mean, they've actually, oops, there we go. There was the 9-minute snooze because I hit snooze on that alarm. But they have actually outperformed Bank. So eBank has been doing really fantastic. I would never, ever sacrifice, if I've got something doing fantastic, I leave it alone. I will not sell it to try for something that's unproven. Even though I have faith in Inti, I still would not. I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't do that one. Mario says, Scott, eBank is a great fund. Yeah, exactly. Jenster says, happy snow day. It is. It is a very, it's a, yeah, it's a good snow day. Um, Biggie yield over 30% at its current price. There we go. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was a pretty big yield. So yeah. Claude says, I have 32.8% for Biggie. More MOUs. All right. More MOUs. What is, let me just take a look. Is that a stock? MOU? No, it's not. All right. I don't know what an MOU is. A CDN rider. Let me know what an MOU is, please. Let's see. Nightbot. Why videos? Wow, that bell wasn't ASMR. No. If you were drifting off at the market close and you had my stream open, it would probably wake you up. And Muggsy says, yes, I am here. Hello, everyone. And yes, thank you, Muggsy. Your idea worked like a charm. Brian, my average cost on Biggie is $25.90. I'm down about 8%, including my dividends. Okay, there we go. Oh, really? Okay. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that's not good. That's not good. I don't like to see that, but yeah, I can. Oh. You must have got in pretty early, probably when it was peaking initially. I'm thinking that might be where you got in, Brian. One of the other reasons why I tend to try to hold out a little bit before I get in, try to find a better entry point. Let's see. I was notified of $200 in EIT dividends on Wealthsimple at $3.55. It still didn't show up in available money to buy 8 shares of INTI. Okay, but still, $200. Nice. So that's what? That's 2,000 shares of EIT. Wahipple. I like the Evolve Ultra Yield ETFs, but they run 33% leverage, then write calls at about 50% after the leverage. That works out to 66% of the non-leveraged portion, but they pay big. Yeah, they do. They certainly do pay big. Yeah, 50%. Like, I would not want to go more than 50%. I actually really like covered calls on 33%, but the reality is if you want that big income, you kind of have to push it up there because then you can get more premiums. And that's where, of course, all of that money comes from. And Muggsy says, looking forward to tonight's live stream. Nice. Me too. Me too. All right. And, just very quickly in here. We got a super sticker coming in from Sky for $139. That's 1/3 of the way towards tomorrow. And that's our first goat. Number 1 goat, our Monopoly goat. So awesome. Of course, you are the goat, Sky. You're the greatest of all time. That's what GOAT stands for. Yeah, 1 there. We got 3 to go. All right, let me get back here and get back to where we were. Here we are. Sui says, HL had 33 million shares exchanged on the dark pool on the 19th of December. You may want to take a look and see how it has performed since the 19th of December. All right, so HL. Let's pull up HL here. Let's see what we got. Are we talking Helica Mining Company? I assume we are. That's the only HL I have. Or Hecla. Hecla, not Helica. Hecla Mining. Like, look at this. That's pretty good. They went up today 6.092%. So, all right, here we go. Oh, they've had a nice run up. They've had a very nice run up. What are they mining? Let's see here. Silver. Look at this. Silver. Ha ha. You had to know. Yeah, silver's been on a tear. And look at this. This is a silver miner. And according to this, they're the largest silver producer in the United States and Canada. So, yeah. This is, oh boy. Oh boy. This, I'm feeling the FOMO on this one. Because, yeah, HL. Now, it is U.S., though. It is U.S., so there is that. But, yeah, I like it. I like it. Why videos? Candace, do you have an opinion about holding bonds in a portfolio? I was thinking about adding some bond ETFs, maybe a mix of high yields and more conservative. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of bonds. Not to say that there's anything wrong with them. I'm just personally not a huge fan. Um, the way I think for me, when it comes to my fixed income portion, I prefer cash ETFs. And the only reason is I like things I can move pretty quickly. Now, with that being said, a bond ETF, yeah, you could sell those right away. There's a lot of good ones out there, but so far I just haven't really been super impressed. I feel like there's just better options out there. Nonetheless, if you like bonds, and some people do, I know I haven't seen Nine in here for a while, but Nine loves bonds. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. All right, let's see. I think the MOU is about signings with China today. Oh, message of understanding. All right, I got it. I got it. Yes, so that's the whole idea that there's a message of understanding that was signed between Canada and China about, well, China's interested in more, as I said, oil, natural gas, and clean energy from Canada. So, it's a message of understanding. Like there's no legal commitment. It's not like an order. It's not like saying we're going to increase our order by 20%. It's nothing like that. It's just a message of understanding, but it is a good step in the right direction, definitely. All right. Oh, and I do see something here. We got a super chat in from Wise Video with a thank you for $2. And guys, that is goat number 2. And this is the goat. This is the next goat that's going to get retired. So we did retire one goat. The Monopoly goat took their place, and I've got a great goat ready to take the place of this one. So when that goat gets unlocked, this goat will be gone. But nonetheless, thank you very much, Y Videos, and we are halfway to a show for tomorrow. So the Financial Express, it's picking up some steam. Can we make it over that little hill to get to tomorrow? We'll see. We will definitely see. All right, now, where the banana bread was I? I was right down here. Rob says, which biggie are we talking about? There were a few out there. Well, we were talking about the Canadian biggie. Yeah, you're right. I think there's an American one named Biggie as well. Let's just take a gander here. BIGY. Yeah, but we were talking about the Evolve Biggie. Oh, you're thinking of, yeah, there's the Yield Max one. I'm not a fan of those Yield Max funds. I will say that right now. So far, Yield Max has not done a good job, in my opinion. Now, I know there's some Yield Max fans out there, and that's fine, but I always thought the idea, I found the idea of synthetic covered calls initially very intriguing. And I know they do more than that, but they just, I remember everybody was all crazy about ULTY, and I was just like, nope, I don't like that one. For me, it's basically when yields get to a point of being insane. So if you give me a yield of 100%, I know that's not sustainable. I know, maybe for the short term, that might be fun. You might have a really good amount coming in, but I don't like it. I just don't feel, I feel way outside of my risk profile in a lot of those funds for sure. All right. Brian says the Canadian one, not the US one. Yeah, exactly. Sergey is in the house with a happy Thursday. Ian's not a fan of bonds. Paul says good afternoon. Well, Hipple's got to go to work. Enjoy your shift. Enjoy your shift. Rory says I'm a fan of James Bond. All right, there we go. Rory likes it shaken but not stirred. Gursky says I've been wanting to slimline my holdings for a while, but I've been having a hard time too. I have a few stocks I'm going to sell if they get into the green. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of one of those ones. Like I'll sell things in the red. I don't mind. I don't care. As long as I have a plan, that's kind of the thing for me. So if I have something in the red, and it looks to me like it's going to take forever to get back in the green. Well, would that money be better off in another place? And would it actually make back the money that it would have lost on the red stock faster? If the answer is yes, then logically, yeah, it makes sense to actually pull that trigger. So I will certainly do it, but I do have to have a plan. I'm not going to do it just and just keep a lump sum of cash and just say, I'm just taking my loss. I will have a plan. Like, okay, if I move it from here into there, from A to B, will I be better off? And if the answer is yes, then of course I'm going to do it for sure. All right. Let's see. Paul says I did a $1 super chat, but the YouTube said there was a delay. My card got charged, but I do not see it in the chat. I didn't see it in the chat either. It did not show up, Paul. However, you know what, Paul, I trust you. I trust you. So, Paul, let's release goat number 3. There we go. Paul has been a long time watcher and definitely one of my favorites for sure. So anyway, yeah, there we go. That is number 3, guys. We're one away from a show for tomorrow, and you watch, Paul's will show up sometime at some point. If it doesn't show up, I'm sure it will show up on the balance sheet, I guess, in the analytics. Sometimes YouTube analytics, it usually takes like when you're looking at the finance analytics on YouTube, like I won't see like how much money I made in AdSense on this live stream. I won't know for 2 days. So it's kind of weird that way. Rory says that's not good. It's not good, but I trust Paul. I trust Paul. Let's see here. Hamilton has 2 new funds coming up next week. Yes. Yes, they're adding to the champions. I think it's on their website, guys. Let's take a look. Let's see here. Google Hamilton. I'm just going to put champions in here as well. All right. Here we go. Let's just go build a portfolio of champions. All right, there's the main ones. Sector champions. So yeah, here's one of them. The utilities index one is coming up. All right, and I think they already had that one. Yeah, it might be these ones in here, I think. I remember, and let me just double check here. I got an email saying what they were, and I thought the utilities one was there, but I don't know. I don't know if these ones are looking like ones that are already there. So give me a second. Let me just see if I still got that. If I still have that email here from there's from Harvest Hamilton. All right. All right. Let me pull this up here. All right. So this is the one I got from the email I got from them today. So, oops, just a second here. I kind of lost the chat. There we are. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, it is the utilities one. So UMVP and the technology one, QMVP. There we go. So yeah, those 2 here, right here, these 2, this one and oops, I clicked on it. We went in. Well, yeah, the technology one. So QMVP. Now these ones, guys, these ones are not going to have like covered calls on them or anything like that. They're going to be dividend growth. So you're going to, you will not be losing upside on these. Obviously, the only thing you would really lose is, well, they have a management fee, 0.19, and we'll have to see somewhere down the road what the management expense ratio, but that won't be much higher because these are just really simple for them to run. So this one here, let's see, a core technology ETF with exposure to some of the most profitable U.S. tech. So they're going to have the Magnificent Seven. So yeah, do they have everything that they're going to hold yet? Profitable core. Here's a few of the companies. Yeah, so we got the Magnificent Seven in there, and we got like Cisco, Applied Materials. All right, there's a few in there. Yeah, mostly semi. Oh, here we go. Here's our full list in here. So Yeah, look at this. All right, so we know we got the big ones. So let's see who else do we have. We got Broadcom in there as well. Micron. Oh, good. Yeah, Micron's been doing well, so I'm not surprised. Cognizant Technology Solutions. Oh, eBay, Cisco, Applied Materials, Texas Instruments, Adobe, Lam Research, EA, Intuit, KLA, Intel, Qualcomm, Workaday, Palo Alto Networks, AMD. They got AMD in there as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, now let's take a look at the other one. So this is our Canadian utilities. You know what's going to be in here. We got to have Fortis. Probably Fortis, Enbridge. Let's take a look here. All right, I just want to see who they have. Well, here we are. Here's Fortis, Hydro One, BCE, boo. Telus, boo. I want Pure. We got Pemina in here as well. Pemina, Enbridge, TC Energy, Brookfield Infrastructure, Emera, Rogers, Brookfield, AltaGas. All right. And let's see here. Okay, not quite as many. Is there any in here that we did not just mention? Nope. Oh, well, there's also Brookfield Renewable is in there as well. So, okay, couple of interesting new ETFs for sure. So there we go. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Whoops, I do see something else in here. Oh, guys, we have another super sticker. Mario is in with super sticker number 4. That means we do have a show tomorrow. So we have unlocked that show, and we also have our last, well, not our last, but we have goat number 4 unlocked. We do have our special goat as well. So if we go to 5, we see the special goat. And there is, of course, the secret goat. So many goats. Oh, there's way too many goats. It's like, I need to learn to like goat milk, I guess. I don't know. All right. Now let's get back to the chat one more time here. All right. Now, where the banana bread was I? All right. Oh, we were just right about here. Isn't it memorandum of understanding? It probably is, Rob. I think that sounds more official like, so it probably is. I see Google, YouTube, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah, QMVP. Yeah, we got there. We got there. Goat 2's knees kind of like our hearts. Or sorry, Goat's 2's knees kind of look like hearts. Does it? Really? All right, I got to take a look here. Goat 2. Oh man, I can't see because there's, oh, you're right. Look at that. Yeah, those do look like hearts. Interesting. I did, first person to notice that, and I didn't even notice that, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Uh-oh, did it knock me down again? Here we are. All right. Let's see, a perfect example of selling too soon. I had IBRX since February 17th, 2025. I put in a limit sale to break even, and it sold this morning. It went up 30.79%. Today, that hurts, but does that happen? Yes. Does that happen all the time? No. A lot of times, most times, you're going to be fine, but there's always going to be that occasional time that you break even and it just keeps going. So here's what I always like to do is if I'm around, so if I'm watching the market, and I usually am, instead of a limit order, I will often put in a stop loss. So at least if it continues a little bit, I can move my stop loss off. Now, if I'm planning to get out, I might sell by the end of the day, but it sounds like in this case, you might have made a lot of money if you'd used a stop loss instead of a limit order. But that's only if you're around, right? If you're not around and you really want to get out of it, you kind of almost need to do the limit order in that case. But if you are around and you have access to the market and, like on a second monitor or something, that stop loss can really be a good way to go. Steven says, hello from snowbound Kingston. Oh boy, yes, Kingston is probably just as bad as it is here. Kingston is one of my favorite little cities. I lived in Kingston for about a year when I was 15. 15. I was 15. So gotta love Kingston. Brian says Harvest HPYT is yielding about 18%. It's down about $1 over the last month or so. It's on my sell list. I forgot to do it today. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Yeah, that happens though. Let's see here. Super windy in the prairies today, 90 km/h. Oh boy. That's pretty, yeah, that's pretty, and especially if you still get snow on the ground, then it just basically means even though it's not snowing, it can still turn into a snowstorm from all of that stuff moving for sure. Brian, HPYT is a premium yield treasury ETF. It sure is. It sure is. Scott says, I had HPYT for a while last year and was finally able to dump it. Nice. Yeah, that's, going back to, going back to why videos. That's another one. That's another one that I have. I just haven't really. I haven't really liked. I just can't get into it. I can't get into it. Brian says I'm up on it, but it's dropping fast. Why is Biggie price dropping? Is it because of MSTR? MSTR is definitely a contributor. No doubt about it. That's, they are holding that bag, but at the same time, you add in the aggressive, I guess we'll say aggressive options. So that is another part too. They're not giving themselves a lot of room for a lot of upside on that one. And, that's what it's designed for. It is designed for income. Let's see. It's a dog, in my humble opinion. Let's see. Brian says, yes, it's getting there now for sure. Rob says, AI Asian guy on YouTube said silver dropped because the banks increased the margin rates, and because of that, small retail investors got liquidated yesterday after market when Asian markets took profit. Maybe, I really don't know, Rob. I don't pay, I honestly, I don't pay a super ton of attention to the Asian markets. I probably should pay more because obviously when you look at the world economy, it is all linked. But, I would have to, right now, I'll take that with a grain of salt only because I haven't verified it. I haven't verified it, so I don't know. Larry says moon sugar. Oh, moon sugar. Well, that's kind of funny. That's an interesting thing to say. And after you guys unlock the secret goat, you'll know why moon sugar is an interesting thing to say. QMVP sounds like HHIS without the covered calls. Yeah, a little bit. Let's see, Candace, have you looked into Inti yet? Yes, we actually, early in the show, Anchor, we actually went through the website and we looked at everything they were holding. We tore apart Inti. So yeah, we definitely did that for sure. Garden, what is your thoughts for defense stock, aerospace, and for 2026? If yes, ETFs like it. I think aerospace, anything infrastructure related, including defense, and that would include aerospace, I think that's going to have a solid year. Are we going to see the big explosion in those sectors? Some, yes. Some maybe 2027 at the same time. So I'm pretty big on it. So everything from, I know I like MDA Space up here in Canada. I think they're going to do fantastic. But there's other, I actually had, I think I put them in a list video recently. I had at least one person who was not very happy that I chose MDA Space. But that's the thing. Always want to do your own research on it. But I do think, I think defense stocks. The U.S. is planning to increase their military, and you know what? The way the U.S. has been acting. If they increase their military, I think a lot of countries in the world, around the world, might just do the same. Just even if it's just because of how uneasy it feels with the U.S. I know Canada, we're doing our part to get up to our commitments for NATO, of course. So yeah, it'll be interesting, Garden. I think it's going to be interesting. Sue says, thank you for great advice. Hey, you're welcome. Marina says, my friend is retiring this year. She holds all the major Canadian gold producers, Barrick, Angigo Eagle, and Kinross. She wants to consolidate to one holding. Which should she keep? Um, Honestly, if she wants to have all of her gold exposure into one holding, I wouldn't even go with any of those. I would look at a straight up gold ETF. That's what I would say. And there's a lot of different ones. Obviously, depending, like if she doesn't need income, she doesn't need to go with an income one. She could go with just a straight up passive gold, because then that way there, she has access to, well, all of these companies and many more. And you take take Barrick for a moment. Barrick's doing fantastic, but if they ran into some more trouble with, let's say, a country that sort of a country that decides, oh, we're not going to let you mine right now. We're going to, we're going to contest the whole thing. That could certainly impact them. So if you're only got one, um, if there was some kind of a geopolitical thing that came in, got in your way, oh boy, that could hurt big time. So by going with an ETF, if you want to consolidate, I would consolidate into an ETF. Then at least she's protected. She's protected that way for sure. Oh, I got to remove that financial. I got to remove the financial night bot because, guys, we have a show tomorrow. Boom. There we go. I've turned it off. It shouldn't pop up anymore. Sergey says, what do you think about CNYE? I got in at $12. It keeps dropping. Now $8.83. Not sure if I should hold it or cut my loss, or does it make sense to buy more this low? CNYE. Let's actually pull this up here. Let's take a gander here. CNYE. Whoops, CNYE. Here we go. So CNYE, this is your Harvest Coinbase Enhanced High Income Shares. So we talk a lot about MSTE, and with the drop in Bitcoin, it got hit pretty hard. But this is another one. I think it got hit pretty hard as well. Just take a look at it. It at least experienced the highs in Bitcoin, but it has come down quite a bit. Absolutely. So it's an interesting thing. So yes, you're getting a good dividend. Yes, I think Bitcoin will recover. This will probably go up when that happens. But it is one of those single stocks, and that's one of the dangers of a single stock, is if something is going wrong, in this case, Bitcoin, it will absolutely pull it down. And keep in mind, too, it's got aggressive covered calls on it, so you are losing some of the upside in the recovery. So that's kind of one of the dangers. So I guess how I would look at this one is I would look at where my total returns are. I would basically be calculating my total returns, and if they continue to keep on going down, at that point, I would be more inclined to maybe think about it. So I would cat came in and meowed and then left. I would myself think more along the lines of, like, I like HHIS because it does hold all of them. Because it holds all of them, that makes it a little bit better. It makes it a little bit better because if one or two of them are really struggling, at least you've got the others to help balance it out a little bit. Like HHIS, I mean, yeah, it'll still fall, but it will fall at least at a more predictable rate, and it will rise at a predictable rate as well. So I kind of like it for that reason. Garden says ITA or single stocks like RTX or MAL. Yeah, well, okay. And this is going back to the, wait a minute. I'm just going back to your last question. I think, did you ask the gold question? No, defense question. All right, so this one is the defense question. It depends on how you want to do it. Like if you want to go, if you want to go into individual stocks, that's certainly fine. Just sort of be aware once again that if you go with an ETF, yes, you are going to have a broader across the board. But I think in this case here that you could probably easily pull together a handful of stocks and you'll be fine. All right, let's see here. All right. Brian says, I watched one of the AI Asian guy's videos and it had some absolute lies in it. I'm not going to watch any of his again. All right. And I have not, in all fairness, I've not watched any of AI Asian guy's videos. So, that's why I said I take it with a grain of salt. I need to verify stuff, especially if somebody's making a big claim. Like, look at last weekend. You guys were, a few of you guys were coming to me saying, "Oh yeah, silver's going to be reset this week. The price is going way down." Um, and it was like, no, I've heard nothing of this. I don't know where you're getting this information from, but you want to double check the sources sometimes, and you want to make sure the source is reliable. And I always say, never go by a single source, right? If one person says something that sounds fantastic, you want to hear it from more than one person. Especially make sure as well that you're going to somebody reputable, somebody who at least, the things they've told you in the past have panned out. If you've got somebody who every time they tell you something, it never happens. That's probably not the person you want to go to for your main source of information. That's for sure. What were the other lies? Who knows? The invest answers. Holy cow, there's a lot in here. But let's see here. IA12 AI stocks public. So TSM, AMD, ASML, MU, ARM, NVIDIA, Broadcom, MRVL. I think that's Marvel. Not the superheroes, but TSLA, yeah, Tesla, Palantir, Alibaba, pre-IPO. Yeah, pre-IPO. This is the XAI, but SpaceX is the next one, I think, to get IPO'd. They're supposed to get IPO'd this year. That'll be interesting. I would have to go back and find the video, but I have no intention of watching again. He was called out on it in another video I watch. Okay, fair enough. Scott says I put my HHIS on drip until it gets back to the price I bought in at. Okay, fair enough. Rob says, what is the stock ticker symbol for the company behind the Iron Dome in the U.S.? No idea. No idea at all. But hey, if anybody knows, throw it out. I don't know. All right. Marita, what do you think of Aritzia? Aritzia, oh boy. So I love the clothing. I never bought retail stock before, but the company has plans to expand in Europe and Asia. So Aritzia, oh gosh, like here, let me show you this. They've exploded in the last year. Let's just do the ATZ instead. ATZ, here we go. All right, now they're down today a little bit, 0.18, but let's just pull up the year. Look at this. Look at the year they've had. Now this big giant spike here, this was their last earnings. Like their last earnings, they exceeded both on revenue and their EPS big time. And a lot of the revenue they're getting is coming from their online presence. So they have a lot of brick and mortar stores in Canada and the United States, but they've really been pushing and doubling down into their online digital footprint, and it is really working for them. So yeah, if they go through and they expand into Europe and Asia, I can see it being incredibly successful. So yeah, I think Aritzia, pretty good long-term hold. I think they're going to do fantastic. And, and just like this here, and this is amazing because I did a deep dive on them a long time ago. I don't know, a couple of years ago. And this is before this, actually. Let's go back. Let's go to the 3-year. They were kind of moving down and sideways. So somewhere's in here, I did a deep dive. And I was just like, well, there's potential, but they just haven't lived up to it. So I wasn't super happy with them. But boy, did they turn around. Like, look at this. They have absolutely turned around. The only hole is, of course, well, Donald Trump. But he leaves a hole wherever he goes. So, yeah, I like Aritzia. I think they're a good long-term hold. And I think we're going to see some more from them as well. All right. Thanks for citing that Asian guy could be a FUD. There we go. Golden Dome is just an idea, but Canada bought an over-the-horizon radar system from an Australian company. Yeah, Canada did. So yeah, that's the thing. And the reality is, a Golden Dome, it's not going to be a single company. It's not going to be a single system. I think it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff put together because for there to be the Golden Dome, for one, they need Canada to be part of it. So, it'll be an interesting thing for sure. We're letting them use it. All part of NORAD. You voted or vote. I don't know what that means. Clarify. Yesterday you quoted a price for tech resources. Was it really $11? Oh, okay. This is what we're looking at. Tech resources, $11. Are you talking about in the video? Well, let me just take a look here. Tech.a. That was the one I was looking at. Well, nope. That's that one there is $72. So I'm not sure where that came from. So I do not know what you're looking. I don't know where the 11 came from. So I'm not sure. I'd have to pull up. I'd have to actually go back and dig up the data for that video. I don't know what we're talking about for $11, unless let's see here. Take a look here. What was that? I'm just going to go back here 3 years. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Not sure what we're talking about in this case, but yeah, no, I did have them in a video. Hopefully I didn't somehow get the whole data wrong. That's a possibility, I guess. I hope not, though. All right, let's see. Let's see. I thought some other company on the stock market was involved in the Iron Dome development for the United States. That I don't know. What is a good defense ETF? Possibly income. I'm gonna have to do some research on that one, Lily. I know there are some defense type ETFs out there, but I don't know about income wise. I know the ones I can think of. I don't know what their tickers are off the top of my head. Are non-income. So I don't know about income wise. Like there are some sectors where, quite literally, to find a good covered call income ETF, you're struggling. And if you watch tomorrow's video, you'll see I did cover one of those where quite literally I had a hard time finding an ETF. BAE Systems Australia for the other. All right, the stock symbol is probably DJT. Yeah, he's making a fortune. That's for sure. ITA or PPA for defense. Okay, well here's a couple. We already looked at ITA. Well, we didn't look at it, but somebody brought it up. Let's take a look at PPA for a moment here. So Invesco Aerospace and Defense ETF. So yeah, here's one of them. Now this is a US ticker, of course, but let's actually take a look over the last year. So you can see, as there's been a lot of pressure and the uncertainty of the last year, this ETF has done quite well. Like at the beginning of the year, it was like 111.39, now 178.91. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Mario says, I owned ATZ and sold it under $30. That was about 2 years ago. Oh gosh, bet you wish you held on to that. Why does Canada keep wanting to work with China rather than the United States? Well, because China is willing to work with Canada. The United States is not. Donald Trump is, it's like no matter what Canada does, Donald Trump finds a way to sort of invalidate. And every time we think we're working towards agreements with the United States, they just get torpedoed one way or another. So China is right now at a point where they're like, you know what, we're willing to buy your products. The United States is like, we're willing to tariff your products. So I think it boils down to that. I would love to see the Canada-U.S. relationship get repaired, but I have a feeling it won't happen until the next administration. So, yeah, that's kind of that's the long and short of it, Rob, unfortunately. And Chad says Carney just can't negotiate with Trump. Scott says United States governments are being mean to us and we're taking our ball away to go play with someone else. Pretty much. There we go. Thanks, Chad. Which is T saying much, Mr. Burns versus the Orange Man? Let's see. You bet, Lily. I believe SCHD holds a defense company too, plus more. Newell yeah, I was going to say Day. DJT wants to be the 51st state and have ICE come and play. Just say, well, he's going to have to change that to the 52nd state because I thought he wants Greenland now as the 51st. So Canada will have to be the 52nd. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll go. I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that. I'm not sure. Like I said, right now I can't look at it while I'm on the air. I don't have that ability. I'm not going to sort of like, start pulling stuff up. But I'll take a look. Maybe if there was an error, I'll put a little thing on it about that. Bismarck, he says, good afternoon, everyone. You're coming right in here towards the end. So we are at the end, guys. I am going to cut this short pretty well. We almost made it to the hour and a half, but I do have another show tonight for the channel members. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I can't wait. I can't wait. We're going to talk a lot about swing trading. So that's going to be a good one for sure. And we will be back again tomorrow. So tomorrow we will have our, we'll have another market close. We'll also open it up to do one on Monday as well. Because like I said, I will keep the market close running as long as you guys want it to. So I could have a busy 2026. So far, you guys have not disappointed. Now, before I do that, I just want to quickly refresh. Just want to see where we're at with the likes. So we got 50 likes, and right now there's still 70 of you in here. So any of the 20 of you who have not yet hit that like button, please do me a solid, hit it on the way out. It really does help the algorithm. So it's always awesome. I appreciate it. It's one of the best ways that you can support the channel. And, well, guys, until, maybe tonight, if you're a channel member, I got one last thing to say, and that is,